Hello everyone. I am Anjali Bhagwat, former world number 1 in 10 meters air rifle weave. I have won several medals with multiple new records internationally as a professional Indian shooter. Have you ever wondered how athletes train to get to the top? Is it just a hard work and dedication they put in, or is there something more to it? Few decades before, I would have agreed that our efforts and training help us to reach our goals. But my training and competing have taught me otherwise. During the span of my career, we did not have proper infrastructure, coaching, or any such basic facilities which are available today. The integral concepts like sports psychology were foreign to me. The recent integration of sports psychology into athletes' training have inculcated the ability to tune out distraction and focus on the task at hand. It also helps to establish unshakable self-belief, which helps one to remain calm under extreme pressure and reduces performance anxiety. However, for me, it was all just part of yoga and breathing exercises, which I used to do religiously every day. I used to practice these exercises thinking that the sole purpose of it was to help me with my breathing control. But in turn, it helped me to sharpen my focus and skills. 20 years before, in 2002, I landed at Frankfurt Airport in Germany to participate in my first ever World Cup final. Things did not start easy for me. While clearing immigration, I found out that my passport was stolen. It is shocking for anyone having their passport stolen in a foreign country. But to an athlete who's about to compete in the World Cup final against best shooters in the world, it was my worst nightmare coming true. Despite all these unsettling circumstances, that trip to Germany is one of my favorite memories because the very next day, I became first Indian ever to win a medal in the World Cup final. I was very happy. I had a silver. Very proudly, I watched Indian tricolor fly high while I stood on the podium. As I was about to leave the venue, organizers approached me to inform that I had to compete again. And this time, it was for Champions Trophy. I had the shock of my life because I didn't even know what the Champions Trophy was. With a lot of hesitation, I followed them. To my surprise, it was a mixed event. 5 men and 4 women shooters were already ready with their equipments on the range. As I was shooting, I realized that it is an elimination round. Nevertheless, in my head, I was still enjoying the fact that I had just created a history for my country. So before I realized, I was amongst top 2 shooters in the match. So I was shooting for the trophy. And my opponent was former Olympic bronze medalist. But against all odds, I won. I had created a history yet again. Within a span of 48 hours, I went from being a scared woman to an athlete who scripted India's history twice. So unexpected situations test your mental strength and remind us time and again the importance of mental toughness in athletes' life. The ability to persist in the face of challenges, mistakes, and failures is one factor that distinguishes elite athletes. Even then, athletes are humans at the end of the day. We tend to overwhelm as well. In such situations, our expertise, our training becomes secondary, but our mindset and self-belief becomes our biggest assets. Just like in sports, there comes a point in everyone's life where our situation and problem overwhelm us. But the issue most times isn't that our problems are too big, but it is that we see ourselves too small. 2 years later, I qualified to participate in the Athens Olympics. This was my second Olympic. Being a finalist in the previous Olympics, this time I was very, very confident. I was the world #1 then. I was in my peak form. It was almost an obligation for me to go and bring back the medal this time around. I had no doubts in my mind and zeal to win a medal. It was a complete blow to my morale once my Olympic event started. I just could not pick up the rhythm. No trick I mastered, training I learned could help me to get back to my rhythm. To my and everyone's dismay, I scored so low that I didn't even qualify for the finals. Even today, I still wonder what went wrong on that day. I have now come to realize that sometimes some things just don't work the way we see them. Getting up and focusing on the next important thing is what we all can do. As Albert Einstein rightly said, if you have never failed, you have never tried anything new. Sometimes life throws curveballs at you. It puts you in most difficult situation. But instead of looking at the setbacks as your failures, we need to see them as an opportunity to learn and better ourselves for our future endeavors. Getting up, facing the next day, going back to train again as hard after a crushing defeat, while your morale and motivation is at the lowest, is the hardest test athletes face. Today, I train many young athletes who compete at national and international level. Over the years now, sporting world has become very competitive, often driving athletes to overwork themselves, which causes extreme stress and mental burnouts. But today's athletes have a lot more facilities available to them. The growth in the technology has made everything easily accessible. You can receive training even you are nowhere near to your coach. Further research in the psychology has helped athletes to a great extent. But it is essential for our young athletes to be nurtured both physically and psychologically. Overcoming anxiety and building a mindset resilient to failure are the important skills reserved not just for athletes, but for every individual everywhere. Each one of you has different goals in life. In the journey of achieving these goals, you may come across many kinds of odds which will make these goals difficult to achieve. In order to hit our target, we must visualize them and not be consumed by our self-doubts. My journey has taught me, as long as you do not let yourself be defeated, you always have a shot at winning. Each one of us is a champion if we truly believe in ourselves. Thank you.